Thank you.
Happy birthday. Sing. Make it better sing. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. I wish you a healthy one. Happiness, everything. Health is very, very important.
Thank you, Christine. I appreciate it.
Yes, yes.
Rob, what up? Twiz, what up? Twin, what it look like, champ? What we doing? We got the grind report today. You know what I mean? Role of independent media. What y'all doing? What the weekend looking like? The summer weather. Shah, I see you, champ. Let me just get this pen in. And then we rolling. Let's rock and roll. Okay? Bang. Let's do it. Shah, I'm on you. Shah, request. I think you got a request to be in it. And we good to go. Rob, what's going on for the weekend, Rob? What we doing? What family looking like? What family outings we got? Perfect. Here we go. Shah Cypher, the Grind Report publication has been rocking for a long time. There we go.
Yo.
Shah, what up, champ?
What's good? What's going on?
How we doing?
Man, chilling. Just finished eating with the fam. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Got my wife and my little man and my daughter. You know what I mean? So just make sure
Perfect.
the family good. Make sure the family good. I had to get in here in my daughter room so my son won't come in here and try to take over. You know what I mean?
Damn, yo, I had to get in my sunroom. Man. There's nowhere we out in these streets, man. They'll kick us out if they could, man.
Yeah, you know it. Definitely.
Appreciate you taking the time, man.
Yeah, no doubt. I appreciate you, on the invite. Shout out to Tilsa, for hitting me up about it. You know what I mean? So, I think that's definitely a dope topic. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody on here. You know what I mean? Everybody that's joining and all that. Shout out to everybody that's on here. Salute.
Yeah, man. Everybody's been real participating with how we introduced the topic. Tilsa, We Talking Magazine. She was real instrumental architecting the whole thing. She thought about you. She was like, "Yo, Grind Report." They've been getting to it for a while. So I said, "Yeah, let's do it, man. It'll be an interesting topic." So one of the most interesting things is, a lot of people might have seen your name or seen your company, but if you could explain to them from a magazine digital standpoint what Grind Report is. The Grind Report is.
The Grind Report. We call ourselves the Grind Report Media Group LLC. I'm one half of that, right? So Shah Cypher is one half. My business partner Tampa Mystics on here. She's the other half. So if you see her Tampa Mystic, make sure y'all go follow her. I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York. She's originally from Tampa. It's in her name, you know what I mean? But she's in Atlanta and I'm in Florida, Jacksonville, Florida. But the business, what we focus on, when we first started, this was almost like 11 years ago. You know what I mean? So when we first started, we was just a magazine in a mixtape platform where we was just putting people in our magazine and dropping mixtapes when it was hot. Around that time, you wasn't on a mixtape, you wasn't popping, you wasn't doing nothing, right? As time went by, the more knowledge that we got, the more different things we learned and being instrumental within the industry underground, we transitioned that to being a full media company where not only do we put people in our magazine, but we also do blogging for artists. We do radio rotation, all kinds of interviews and media interviews. So it could be interview in this format. It could be in a physical, radio platform when you go to a studio. You know what I mean? Or it could be over the phone, or you might do a video, you know what I mean? Like we transition, we kind of give people different options. You got to be versatile in this business, and then we got all kinds of different things that we do, press releases and Anything that can help at this time an artist take it to the next level. Then we was like, well, okay, well, how can we take it to the next level? So we turned it up even further and start offering our services to any entrepreneur, any business professional. It doesn't really necessarily got to be an artist, right? Because that kind of puts us in a box. Because people will come to us and say, yo, I own a clothing line. You know what I mean? Can I? Or I'm a DJ. I'm a producer. So, we went from your independent and unsigned headquarters to your entertainment and entrepreneur headquarters. So we try to figure out different ways to expand. So the magazine is one of the biggest things that we do. We get ready to drop, issue 73. You know what I
Wow.
mean?
Wow.
Um,
Congratulations. Congrats to that.
so right,
Damn.
right, right. We get ready to drop. We've been dropping issue after issue every month, but it's
Mhm.
not the only thing we do now. You know what I mean? We really make sure that we can provide for the people, and really do our homework before we say we can do something.
Mhm. Now, what's interesting about being in the game 11 years, right?
Yeah,
You've seen a lot of things, right, in the last 11 years,
right, right,
particularly how podcasts have changed the game, how streaming has changed the game,
right.
how independent versus label has changed the game. So what keeps you guys independent, and or are you still striving to be big, like in some type of big market or associated with a mainstream media company?
I think we have the ability to do both. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like, we dive into the podcast scene.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I have a Underground Movers podcast that I do, right? My
Mm-hmm.
business partner Tampa Mystic, she has Industry's Most Wanted podcast. We
Mm-hmm.
all do our stuff together. Um, but we dive into a lot of that, but we also get requests from major labels and major artists, you know what I mean? Artists that, if you're really concerned about making sure that artist got a blue check, yeah, we did things for blue check artists. You know what I mean? But at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, we do what we do to be to keep us humble. We make sure that we also show love to the artists that are coming up, because those same artists that you may recognize now, those wasn't the artists, they weren't recognizable then, right? They had to
Yeah.
come up somewhere. And what's
Mhm.
good about, for me, I started as an artist. I still do the
I
artist
had a
thing. Like,
feeling. I had a
you know
feeling.
what I
I had a
mean? Like, I
feeling you had that
started
in
that, you know what I mean?
you.
So I understand, what an artist didn't have back then, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now, still doing my artist thing, I built myself a lane that I can ride in while still doing this business. Um, but now I can take all that knowledge that I accumulated over time and tell and get people the information while I do my thing. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like I'm in the mud, I'm in the trenches with you, and then showing you how to make sure that you can swim in those waters, can ride in them roads that's not
Mm-hmm.
paved yet. You know what I mean? So you don't do the same
Absolutely.
mistakes. So, what I mean? We a little bit of all of that, and that's the goal, to really kind of stay above, right?
Mm-hmm.
Our focus is always to be at the point where we can be one of those giant media markets, but
Mm-hmm.
with an understanding that we came from somewhere, right? We came from those levels where people will respect you more because they saw that you grind to get there, which is another reason why we call ourselves the Grind Report. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Now, here's a question I ask a lot of independent markets, and I've had mixed answers, but it's just curious to see how um, our entrepreneurs and business owners see things, right? So, if a
Right.
major conglomerate like a Viacom or a BET, somebody was like, "Yo, we want to buy the Ground Report. We want to let you do what you do, but we want to put it on this platform. Obviously, we're going to infuse some of what we're currently doing. How would
Right.
and if the money was right, everything was lined up, would you transition your actual baby to that?"
To be honest with you, I mean that'll be a decision me and Tampa have to make together. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And we would say, does
Shy,
it make
you not
sense?
gonna, you being a politician, you gonna do the?
I
Give me one answer. What would you say?
Nah. You want me to be honest with you? I'm
Mm-hmm.
all I'm to be honest, for me, I'm more like the person um that likes to keep my brand. I want to be able to
Okay.
fully
All right.
control my brand.
So
You know what
you
I'm
would stay
saying?
home. You would stay home.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I would stay home because you know what though? Because people will respect that on the long run. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yo, he just sell out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, just
Mm-hmm.
because, I'd rather take my loyalty versus before I take the check. I'd rather take my respect before I take the check. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna make no move without my business partner. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
And the
That's fair.
money could sound good, the money can look good, and you might be in situations where you might need the money. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
you know, I believe more in my brand, and then the money's gonna come along. You know what I mean? So
Okay. Okay.
that's how I
And,
look at
and
it.
what's a big point? And I know I asked the question, and I appreciate you asking it. But what a big point is, if they're approaching you, then
Right.
maybe there's something you can do to
Combined.
get
Yeah.
that level independently. You know what I mean? So
Right.
you can
Right.
obviously maybe reinvest and get to that level, and because somebody sees it, somebody sees it
But you
already.
know
And
what though? What they might have came at me at a specific, specific for a specific reason, right? Because they might have saw
Mhm.
something in our brand that they don't particularly have. That doesn't mean we can't go back to the table and
Mhm.
negotiate a partnership where I'm not selling, we're not selling our brand, but maybe we do something together. You get what I mean?
Absolutely.
Where it benefits them, it benefits us. It's a win-win situation. The people that we work with will be able to benefit from that versus just turning around and just selling it. You know what I mean? So,
Agreed.
um,
Agreed.
you know what I mean? You get what you negotiate, not what you want. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely, right? And and I ain't gonna run it into the ground, but when how at the timing is everything, right? Because
right,
today's price, you know what I
not
mean?
yesterday price. You know
It
what
might not
I
be yesterday's price.
mean?
So
Right, right,
they catch you at the right time, then
right,
the negotiations might be different. But
right.
another interesting part of the ground report, and I know you guys, from 11 years in the game, right? The transition from the digital print from the magazine, which was the physical print, to now digital print. What do you do now? You do both digital magazine and physical print?
We were always digital, but we're print
No.
on demand. We print on demand. You get what I'm
Got
saying? So to keep the price down from having to have
mm-hmm.
people in the magazine,
Mm-hmm.
we were always digital because we were getting into a world where the print was pretty much going out of style. When we started, it was kind of like the tail end of the print era getting into digital. We
Got
started
it.
the ground report when the only social media out there was MySpace and Twitter. You know what I
Got
mean?
it.
So Instagram wasn't created. Facebook, I think around that time was still college related. You know what I mean? So we really didn't, we really didn't have that platform to really,
Mm-hmm.
they really didn't have that the print. You know what I mean? Wasn't really the
Mm-hmm.
way to go. We started the transition into um, when we did the digital thing, it made it a lot more easier because now we have the opportunity to place people from all walks of life, all different directions, who were grinding in the
Mm-hmm.
magazine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, um, and we still do, you know what I mean? But when you get one of our print copies, um, when you get one of the ground report print copies, you will see the quality of it is immaculate. Like, we don't play with even our print versions. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I,
So,
I saw the
um,
print versions. Tilsa's bought some print versions and she's giving them to me, and they are they cut no corners.
right,
They look like your mainstream hip hop or commercial magazine. So
right.
congratulations on that.
I
You know,
appreciate it.
it's obvious to me that if your print would have been out during that print era, you
Mhm.
guys would have definitely been a viable, a viable
Right, right.
competition. So keep it up, get to it. So another question I have for you is, you said you said your partner Tampa, right?
Hmm.
That's who you would make decisions with, and that's who you would bounce off before you make anything solo. But I like a lot of people who go into businesses with people or have a group of people that they're working with or founders that they started with. it's interesting because you guys are two. It's two of y'all, right?
Right, right.
How do you guys how do you, if you're at an impasse for a major decision, how do you what do you do?
Um, Man, we have to weigh the pros and cons on it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If like, if Tampa disagrees with something or I disagree with something, we'll figure it out. You know what I mean? But at the same
Mm-hmm.
time, when it comes to what we do, um, we usually we're real good on the decisions that we make,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if Tampa say, "Yo, I want to go this route," I'm not even going to question it because
Mm-hmm.
I already know the direction she going.
Mm-hmm.
I already see the benefit from it because she already did all the homework. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
she already
Yeah.
did this. And even if we found out later on it wasn't the move, we don't never consider it a L. You know what I mean? We consider it a lesson, like, okay, but we got a lot out of it. Same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Yo, Tampa, I want to go do this. All right, go. Let's go. What's good? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If she tell me she with it, I'm with it. I don't really gotta question it. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where, what I mean, Tampa's one of not only my business partner, but one of my best friends outside of my
Mm-hmm.
wife. You know what I mean? So it's just one, like, there's certain people in my life, you know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean, that they can tell me like, yo, I want to go this route. If I disagree, or I might, I might say, hey, you sure you want to do that? You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? But then we have a conversation. You know what I mean? That's the difference. So if it's very seldom, very seldom, almost never will we really kind of clash and be like, nah, I don't want to do this. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, we trust each other's decisions. So that's what it's about.
Yeah, and because those are some of the behind the scenes things that an independent media group or an independent business has to deal with, different than like a bigger business, because there's a board and
Right.
there's these founders that move on their own and
Mm-hmm.
they just make decisions and it comes down. But when you have like two people who been grinding out, how it's interesting to let the people that are watching know, how do you come into, like, if I, and it's not, I don't see it as a clash, I just see it as a difference as opinion sometimes. How do you, because it's not like a majority vote now,
Right. Right.
right?
Right.
It's just one versus one, and so I like the way you guys approach it. We just gonna ride out. If it works, it works. It doesn't, it doesn't.
Right. Right. You know what?
All for the match.
Part of business is making decisions and taking a risk.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, Tampa has her own individual stuff that she do. I have my
Mm-hmm.
own individual stuff that we do. But we talk to each other about those individual things before we launch them. You know what I'm
Got it.
saying? So we
Mm-hmm.
know what's coming and be like, yo, you can do this, you can do that. I'm hype about the stuff that she got coming or got going. And I might not even be a part of it like at that particular time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But what I do know is every time she do something, she's not doing it just for her. She's doing it for the industry. She's doing it for the brands like that
Mm-hmm.
she's, you know what I mean? That's how I go about it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I might do some Shah Cypher songs and I might have this going on when it comes to my music, but she knows, if I get a connect based off that, I'm sending it her way. You know what I mean? Like, yo,
Mm-hmm.
Tamba could do this, blah blah blah, and then vice versa. So we always keep each other looped in. That's how you gotta do. You gotta nurture those relationships like that, especially the people who hold you down. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Especially the people who hold you down. So, that's in life and that's in business. You know what I mean? So without our minds kind of coming together, we wouldn't be where we at now. Now, we do have other people that we communicate with, you know what I mean? Like within the ground report, shout out Miss Isha in Kentucky, she definitely helps the ground report and really communicates with me. And there's people that go directly to Tampa. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, we know what's going on between each other businesses and within the actual business that we running together. So, we keep it
That's a
100.
good move.
Yeah.
That's a good move right there. Now, you said you're in Jacksonville, right?
Yep. Yes, sir.
What's the hip hop scene in Jacksonville looking like?
Oh, this artist out here getting it in. There are
Mm-hmm.
artists out here getting it in. For me, it's different. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I like my New York stuff. You know what I'm saying? But being able to travel to different cities and listening to different artists, I learned that there's other styles out there that are hot. Whether I
Mm,
understand it or not, whether I feel it or not, there's an audience for it. And the fact that
mm.
these artists are going that hard for the audience that
And they
support them,
believe in it. They
and
believe in
they
it. That's
believe
what
in
it is.
it, I
Mm-hmm.
believe in it too. You know what I mean? So no, I'm that you might have an album and I might only like two of the songs on a personal level. You ain't gonna know it by the way we push it because we push it like it's ours. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's just one of those things that these artists out here definitely doing their thing. It's different. It's a different animal
And
from
I know
being up
coming
top.
from Brooklyn, you in Jacksonville, you looking at the artists like
Yeah,
it's a whole other planet of flow, beats,
yeah, man. Like
presentation.
yeah, you know what I mean? Me and Tampa were talking about it not too long ago, the other day. Like, yo, the artists are different. And there's nothing wrong with
Mm-hmm.
it. You know what I
There's
mean?
nothing wrong
Whether
with
you feel it or not is one thing. But what I've learned being out in Jacksonville was you gotta really take the time to really listen to the songs that the people putting out.
it.
Right? You
Mm-hmm.
gotta take the time to listen. Some people were saying some things. The beat might not always be hot, but they saying some stuff to make that
Yeah.
song a
There's a
hundred. You
message
know what I'm
in there.
saying?
There's a message
So
in there.
and there's others I might not relate to. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But
That's natural.
right. So,
That's natural.
but I like what they got going on out here. They really getting it
You
in.
know what's dope too? Like you mentioned, when you travel, right? Sometimes like I've been in situations where I've seen an artist's background and environment, and that made me appreciate the music even more.
Right,
Right. So when
right,
I heard the artist, I just wasn't really in love. But when I went to their city and I saw what they was talking about, saw their environment, their nightlife, I really took an appreciation to what
right,
they was talking about. Now I was like, oh, okay, I see what they're talking about their culture. I just need to identify with their culture and then
right,
boom.
right,
So
right.
so one key secret, right? If you had a secret sauce for predominantly an independent platform lasting 11 years, right? What would be your one secret sauce? What is your one key to a lot of independent, media or businesses doing media?
I'm gonna be honest with you. It's really everyday life things like being humble, treating people right. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Really being honest with them. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
yo, I can't do this, but I can do that. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Don't try to overcompensate. You know what I mean? Or don't put yourself in a situation where you're going to tell them you're going to deliver on something and you can't. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I mean, shout out Microphone Bully. You know what I mean? He on here. Um, you need your video graphics, New York. Hit up my man Microphone Bully. But listen, generally what we say is, um, you know, we over deliver, we under promise, right?
That's the key. That's the key
We
right there.
over deliver but under promise. Yo, you know what? I'm gonna put somebody came to us and want to do as an example, maybe we do put somebody on 20 sites, right?
Mm-hmm.
They needed it in 72 hours.
Mm-hmm.
We had the ability to, what I mean, we got it back to them in 24. Oh, for
Mm-hmm.
real? You know what I mean? Like, or
Mm-hmm.
when we write our reviews, we write our reviews and we really give them a review. Like anytime we do single reviews, we really listen to it. We really write it. Me and Tampa might do a video or something, or Tampa might do some videos, and she'll go the extra mile to give them that, show them that love. Sometimes you gotta show people like, yo, we a business, we gotta make money, but
Mm-hmm.
we gonna treat you, you know what I mean, like you should be treated. Why? Because you came
Yeah,
to us. You could have went to
yeah.
anybody. So
And you can make money with integrity, right?
that's right. Integrity is key.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's this big, rumor out there that you can't do that, but it's you can make that happen. It'll and to be honest with you, it might be a little slower. It might be, a little bit more grind associated, but you can make
Right.
that money
Right.
with integrity. So with your when you comment or do a write up about music, have you ever do you do negative? Because I've seen like media companies like they just a bot like destroy an
Nah.
artist. Oh, okay. All right.
Nah, the reason, yo, but on when we do the live reviews, when me and Tampa do the live reviews on Industry's Most Wanted, um, we point out, we may point out like, hey, you might want to touch up on the engineering, or
Okay.
you might want to, you might want to be do better in this, so I can hear it here, blah blah blah. But the point is to really pull out the best of the, so there's songs that I've wrote reviews on that I personally may not like, but that's not what I'm there for. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I'm not there to tell you no, I ain't feeling it. You know what I mean? Because I haven't listened to it long enough to give you a reason why, why I'm personally not feeling it. But what I would say is, um, I would tell them like, yo, I think you can go in the studio and tell the producer to tighten this up or tighten that up, or
Mhm.
you know what I mean? It sounded like you were offbeat a little bit. Because
Mhm.
what I realized is that there's a lot of people out there that your music might be for them, right?
Mhm.
And you can't just try to shut down their dreams. Yeah, there's whack music out there, but people got dreams. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie,
But
there's whack
yeah,
music out
but
there.
shot Jay Z was whack in the beginning. Nas was whacking. Like we all were at a whack
Yeah,
stage.
yeah.
Nobody came out.
Listen,
You know.
man, I started rapping when I was in sixth grade. All my songs sounded like Method Man. So I sounded just like him. You know what I mean? So you couldn't tell me that I wasn't hot. But if you was to listen to those songs right now,
Hmm.
you'd be like, yo, what the hell is this? Right?
Hmm.
So this when you really into this, you are
Hmm.
dedicated to perfect your craft.
But
Perfect it.
but at the same time, you would have been able to pull out a sixth grade Shah Cypher what's good and
Right.
what they need to work on, and that's
Right.
the goal.
Right. Because you might see something there. I've seen stuff in people and be like, "Yo, um, you know what? You're not on flow, but I can hear it. Like,
Hmm.
just keep going. You know what I mean? I don't know nobody that started off anything a professional, right? Like,
There you go.
I don't know anybody that started off anything a professional. You
Hmm.
feel me? Like not at all. There's nobody, Michael Jordan had to practice his craft, so did Kobe Bryant, so did Jay-Z, you know what I mean? So did LeBron. You know what I mean? So any producers that are out there, they didn't come out the womb producing. You know what I mean?
Platinum
So
hits.
yeah. I cut the
Absolutely.
light on. I see
Absolutely.
y'all people. I cut the light on. You know what I mean? It was getting a little dark. The sun going down. I cut the light on. We should be good now. But yeah, it's nobody started off a professional. Somebody had to hone in their craft, but they had to be dedicated to it. They had to have discipline. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So without those stuff, you're not gonna home in those skills that you think you believe in. You
I
know what I mean?
appreciate that approach, man. I know the artists appreciate that approach, and I think honestly it's the best approach, you know what I mean? Because
Right,
you
right,
wanna these people have serious dreams. Some people are using their creative, outlets as therapy and a way to get away from real life situations. So, you want to treat their art with care. Just because they're, not upper echelon artists, you still want to treat their art with care, so I respect that. What's next for Grind Report?
Um, Figuring out more ways to be authentic and creative for the people that support us, that work with us as clients or as
Mm-hmm.
partners. Me and Tambo are working on some different days. If you
Mm-hmm.
notice, there's been a bunch of news articles about what we got going on. Myself with the Power 107.6, the Truth Radio for independent and unsigned artists and underground movers. Tampa Mystic. She just got locked in on an FM station in Atlanta. She's got the industry's most wanted. She's got the magic room for business and professionals. You know what I mean? So what we're doing is trying to be creative and really stay above that ball while still, raising the ball, still
Mm-hmm.
taking it to the next level, but making sure that, we stay authentic and keep it true for the people who fuck with us. You know what I mean?
And the great stuff about that is those are the people that have rocked with Grind Report, or been,
Right.
you know, using the Grind Report platform. As you spread out, these are avenues that we can take you to, we can utilize, to help you in your growth. So that's
Right.
the dope part about, spreading out,
Right.
and getting these other outlets into, either your independent or media opportunities. You could spread out. And, sometimes that some people don't see it like that, but it definitely helps your clients. It helps your customers when you guys are spreading out.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right. And the big thing about it is that, the Ground Report brand has been in places that we haven't physically had to be able to touch, right? We've been
Mhm.
out, we got, clients and people that we talk to and deal with
Mhm.
outside the country, you know what I mean? So, and all within the United States because, we keep it real and get back to people. You got, the art of the follow up is very important in this business,
Sure.
especially as an independent. You know what I mean? Like the follow up and then having manners. You know what I mean? Don't just if I don't know you like that, please don't just send me a link of your video because you would even
Mhm.
introduce yourself. Like
There's
I
an
don't
etiquette.
even,
There's a
you know what I mean?
professional etiquette.
There's an
Yeah.
etiquette and making sure that that it's up to the person that you sent your email or whoever to respond. You put the ball in their hands. But if you're gonna present yourself for the first time to a
Hmm.
business, you not sending them a link. That's just like first your presentation is off, right?
Hmm.
You know what I
Hmm.
mean? You go for an interview. You ain't going in there with no, with some a pair of shorts and some socks and be like, yo, give me the job. Like you're gonna prepare for it,
Yeah,
right?
and you're not walking in there like, "What's up?
What's up? What's popping?
Talk to
You
me.
know what I
Talk."
mean? How much y'all paying? Like that's not how that works. You know what I mean?
How
Like in
much y'all
anything
paying?
that you do,
Mhm.
you gotta make sure that you present yourself well. You know what I mean? Common
That's a
courtesy
fact.
goes a long way. And tell people thank you, man. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You never know what a thank you might get. Like, oh, you know what? Hit the like button. I know you're watching.
Absolutely.
Hit the like button. You know what I mean? Like, just
Move
show
that finger.
support. You
Move
know
that
what I
finger.
mean?
Move that finger. You know what I mean?
Right,
Just a little
right,
bit.
right, right,
So
right. So,
before you get out of here, what's the biggest independent accolade that you're proud of to date for Grind Report?
one of them would be, um, man, Bankroll Fresh.
Mm, mm,
Issue
mm,
number, issue number 12 of the Ground Report. We put Bankroll Fresh on the cover,
mm,
right? Um, a lot of people felt that because at the time that was real early in his passing, right?
mm,
And we really got a chance to talk to some real people, you
mm.
know what I mean? And we got a Diamond Award, you know what I mean, in Jacksonville. That's one of them. Tampa Mystic put that up there. We got a Diamond Award for Best Magazine, you know what I
Mm.
mean?
Wow, wow,
Um,
congratulations.
you know, and people recognizing what we doing.
Mm,
People are recognizing, yo, the Ground Report is going to be around forever, no matter
mm,
what. The word grind is going to be something that you consistently going to have to do regardless in what you're doing, and it'll never be something that's out of style. You know
mm.
what I
You
mean?
put it
Because
in
you
your
don't
name. You put it in your
you
name. We're gonna hold
put it in
ourselves
our
to it.
names. That we got to hold ourselves to it. If we don't
We're gonna
grind,
hold ourselves to it.
you know what I mean.
Yes,
So we got to grind for you. Again, we want to help you expand your brand, and we got to treat we
absolutely.
treat our brand. I treat myself, Shah Cypher, as a brand. Tampa Mystic is a brand. Everything that we do is brand related. So
We,
that's how
we
we.
we appreciate Tampa Mystic and you. You know what I mean? 'Cause
Yeah,
this
yeah.
damn near was both of y'all on the interview. So we appreciate that. Tell them how to get in contact with you, how to get involved with the movement.
First of all, shout out Tilsa. I see it. We Talking Magazine. I see y'all on there. Um, Hit me at the Ground Report. You know what I mean? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put all that right here in there for y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this is actually my personal one at Shah Cypher. I do my freestyle Wednesdays. I drop that every Wednesday on some industry beats to pay homage to the different eras of hip hop. But this
Mm,
right here,
mm,
um, we got at the Ground Report. The groundreport.com. So the way you see ground report right now.com. You see at Tappa Mystic, you know how to get to her. You know what I mean?
mm,
So um, and you can hit either one of us up for whatever you're trying to look for within the brand. We try to
mm,
make it easy. The last tip I would say is Don't make it hard for somebody to find you when you either trying to sell something or you try to promote something. So make it easy. You know what I mean? So that's how you get to us.
Thanks for the jewels, Shy. Thanks for the jewels, champ.
Yeah.
We Talking Magazine, hip hop point of view. We appreciate you, the Ground Report, Tampa Mystic, Shah Cypher. Next time we're gonna be paying attention. We're gonna pay attention to them freestyles. I'm gonna post one of them
Yeah.
freestyles.
Yeah,
So we
that's
on
on. Look,
today.
listen, I got 1 through 9 on my IGTV right now on at Shah
Okay,
Cypher. Go listen to them. I
we're
dropped
gonna
I
post one of them. We're
yeah, I
gonna
dropped
post
number
one. Let's get to it.
yeah. No, do what you do. I dropped number 10 this Wednesday, so be prepared. Let's get it.
Let's
You know
do
what
it.
I mean? All
Shy,
right.
appreciate you, man. Enjoy the weekend.
Salute. Shout
All
out to
right.
everybody. All right.
Role of independent media.